Eloise and Ali. Eloise, can you please tell us about your collage?
My collage, If a Tree Falls, is about deforestation. Deforestation is a serious environmental injustice that I feel quite passionate about, and I just wanted to convey the realities of this through juxtaposition and use of scale in my collage.
Your collage here.
Sure. My collage, Walking Skeletons, is trying to convey that eating disorders aren't just a physical illness, they're a mental illness, and as you can see, there's walking actual skeletons to convey that these people are so skinny that they're walking skeletons, and that this person thinks that they're quite large, whereas in reality, she's quite thin. So, just about trying to convey how serious this illness is.
Over to our Year 10 Vanitas paintings. Sarah and Courtney. Sorry, excuse me. Sarah, can you please talk about the meaning in Vanitas? What is Vanitas?
Vanitas was a movement which kind of focused on the ideas of materialism and people's obsession with materialistic objects. And so throughout our artworks, the Grade 10 girls have used symbols to portray these ideas and obsession with materialism.
So Courtney, I know that both your parents are doctors. Is that why you have medicine bottles in your house?
Well, sort of went the bleeding obvious sort of take, but more or less, I guess, another sort of realm of Vanitas is, I guess, the passing of time, sort of showing that. And so within the collage that we originally were given in my term, actually in fact featured these two older medicine bottles. And so using the fact of, again, what Sarah said, the materialistic objects, and also incorporating that concept of passing time, I tried to incorporate the newer medicine bottles so as to show sort of the transition to really that older medicine, more like herbal essences and things, to then, I guess, the pills and the more drug type uses.
Personally, what did you two think was most difficult about the Vanitas paintings?
Time? No. I spent about 2 weeks of my holidays every day about watching movies sort of whilst painting, but other than that, multitasking at a science, ladies and gentlemen. No, but other than that, I would say that the hardest part for me was probably, in fact, getting the skull right. Because just generally, if you're looking, probably not many of you look at skulls on a daily basis, but if you happen to, you'd know that I guess the contours of the skull are very interesting and very intricate, and so to actually recreate that within a painting is very difficult, and I think a lot of girls have taken very different styles and different ways, but have all managed to do that perfectly.
Sarah, your opinions?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Courtney. I think learning to actually oil paint was, I think, my hardest challenge. And when I started out, it took me ages to really understand how to use the paintbrush and to use the paint to make these objects look realistic. And I think once it did, it was quite amazing and really exciting. But once I got over that major hurdle, it was a really, really interesting and fun artistic endeavor, yes.
Thank you so much, girls. Can I have a round of applause for you? Their pieces here.
Any requests?
Any requests?
You, Asia.
Put me on the spot, Mrs. Withers.
Asia, what are your opinions about your Vanitas?
Well, my Vanitas is pretty simple. It's more of the things that I like. I love traveling, so I incorporated math. My passion is to write, and so there's a jar of ink at the bottom. Also, I love reading. Reading is something that was a large part of my childhood, and so as you can see, there's a couple of stacks of books there. And in the painting, actually, the cross is my oldest brother, Wesley. He has a cross quite similar, and I put it in there to represent him. And in the painting, there are the initials CJ, which is my second oldest brother. And yeah, that's it.
Now we'd like to introduce our guest speaker for the evening, Alison Kubler. Alison Kubler is a freelance curator and writer, an all-round role model for every girl here, really. She has a double major in art history from the University of Queensland and a master's in post-war and contemporary art history from Manchester University, England.
She has over 17 years' experience working as a curator in museums and galleries in Australia and writes for leading art journals and magazines. She is an associate curator of the University of Queensland Art Museum, where her curatorial projects include Polly Borland, Everything I Want to Be When I Grow Up, 2012, the 2011 National Artist Self-Portrait Prize, The More You Ignore Me, The Closer I Get, 2009, and Neo Goth, Back in Black, 2008.
Other projects include Our Place in the City, recent work by Adam Cullen, Moving Cities in the Australian Embassy, Berlin in 2000, and Quiet Collision, Current Practice Australian Styles at Via Farini, and Care of Contemporary Art Spaces in Milan, Italy.
She has worked as arts advisor to Senator the Hon George Brandis, SC, the former federal minister for the arts and sport. Alison is the co-coordinator of MCK Art Consulting, working on public art commissions, curatorial projects, and publishing, and is a board director of the Museum of Brisbane.
She's married to artist Michael Zagros, and together they have 3 children, Phoebe, Olivia, and Liam. In October 2013, a major publication she co-authored with Mitchell Oakley Smith, entitled Art Fashion in the 21st Century, was released by Thames and Hudson, UK.
Welcome back to St Hilda's School. We're very happy to have you here with us.
Well, it is very lovely to be here, and it's funny how passage of time, everything changes and nothing changes as well. And seeing the uniform is such an incredible emotional rush for me to see that uniform and the pockets and the blazers and remembering it all. And remembering why one needed to dress up. Look at you, all look so beautiful on an official school night. It's really impressive. It is lovely to be here, and I'd like to thank Alana Hampton for asking me, because nothing makes me happier than to come back to my school, which I just loved very much. And I have brought my eldest daughter Phoebe along. She's intrigued to see what my school is like. I really am very overwhelmed, actually, by the quality of work tonight. I know that sounds like a trite thing to say, but art is my life, and it's my family's life as well. And I know how it can inform absolutely everything that you do in your own life. And for those of you who are here tonight who perhaps will not be artists, or you might not work in creative fields, whatever you do in your life will require creativity, will require you to think creatively about whatever it is that you do, whatever your profession might be. So the things that you learn with your magnificent teachers here is how to think in a creative way and how to problem solve. And this exhibition, which is about making meaning, is, I think, very informative about how we can approach our life. And just listening to the girls speak tonight, I think is so impressive. I know as parents you must feel very overwhelmed listening to your daughter speak in such an engaging and intelligent way about their own work. It's very hard to A, make art and put it on display, and then B, talk about it, articulate what you've actually done. And I think that's a great skill to learn. And again, that's a skill you can apply to anything that you do in your life. If you're able to talk about something that you've done in that way, then you can talk about anything and to anybody. Doesn't matter what the context might be. The amazing thing looking around here tonight is the diversity as well. There are so many themes going on and so much complex work. I mean, the quality is very high. And looking at the Vanitas works, not to single out, but I well remember my foray into oil painting, and it was not memorable, let me tell you. I was not a good oil painter, and that is why I did art history. So I'm here to tell you that there is a life in the arts whether you actually have no physical talent. And Alana always laughs at this, but it's true, I was really bad. I had no skill whatsoever at actually making art. But what I wanted so much was to be in the arts and work in the arts and work with artists and interesting people. And so I had to find a way to do that. And so for me it was art history and connecting to that world and connecting to museums and galleries. And I'm happy to say that the creative industries has expanded exponentially. There are so many opportunities. within creative industries now, that if you even have just the smallest modicum of interest in being creative, there's so many ways to apply that. And I'm grateful for the teachers that I had at St Hilda's, because they recognised I didn't have skill, but I had interest. And I had a really fantastic art teacher who let me do, at the time, write essays, which I was able to submit in lieu of actual physical artworks. I'm not suggesting you should do that, but it's a very good thing, because it was quite a rigorous thing. I had to learn how to write about art and think about what I wanted to say, and I so appreciated that. You know, that was a really great opportunity for me to be able to express myself as well. And looking at the work tonight, I'm really struck by the opportunities that school can offer to just have a crack at something and to do something. So you're seeing printmaking and you're seeing oil painting, which, as I said, is really hard. I don't know how many of you parents have actually tried oil painting. Many people here tried that? It's really hard. And I'm married to a painter, and I know oil painting is very taxing. It's you really need to know what you're doing. And I'm not just saying it, the quality is amazing. I'm so astounded by those Vanitas works. And I'm astounded by the ideas behind them too. So as the girls explained, this idea of looking at the passage of time, that all life and all art, if you think about it, is a meditation on the passing of time. That we are all mortal, and what do we all want to do? We all want to stop time. We all want it to cease, that passage of time. And that's what art is. Art is a response to that, to the fact that we all are mortal at the end of the day. And Vanitas painting was about recognising the things in one's life, that you too will pass. That's really probably the biggest idea in art that you can grapple with, because it's the biggest idea in life, actually. And if, as a young person, you can grapple with some of those ideas, then I think you are probably on the way to being quite a good human being. And they're very honest paintings, because they've included things that really talk about themselves and try to recognise the temptations of life and the things that we all obsess about, probably to our detriment. And really, you're all full of the bloom of youth. And that's a really great thing. It's an amazing thing. And to grapple with such intense ideas, I think, is probably a credit to your teachers, but also a credit to you young ladies for being able to think about those ideas and not be scared to think about them. Just the idea of, you know, how art functions in a school, I think, is really important. That idea of making meaning, as this exhibition is called. I think sometimes, you know, it's easy to see art within education as just this adjunct to all the other things that we do. But I just wanted to reiterate that I think it's an incredibly important part of one's education. You don't need to go and be the next Ben Quilty. You don't need to be, you know, the world's leading expert in Renaissance art. But if you have even a small interest in that, or an appreciation for people who have applied themselves in that way, your life is made so much richer. And St Hilda's absolutely instilled that in me. I would not be doing the things that I've done today if I hadn't gone to this school and had that level of enthusiasm placed, you know, for me, put there. And so I'm very grateful to this place, I guess. And I guess I just like to say, it does give me such a great honour to be here. It really is. And I'm always thrilled when the school invites me back. And I love coming here. And I just want to say congratulations to all the students who have work here tonight. You should be enormously proud of yourselves. It's a big part of who you are. And it's such a big thing to put your work on display. I know that it's really a big emotional leap to let other people look at what you have done. So you should be proud of yourselves. And thank you, Alana. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Alison.
We'd like to give a big thank you to you, Alison, for giving so generously of her time and for her beautiful comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you.